Buenas tardes and buenos de todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I'm the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you'd like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password. Today is Sunday, August 28th, 2022, and we are continuing with our theme, Living Everyday Wonder. The topic for this month is nature, and this week the topic is naturally divine. We open each week with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer, also known as spiritual mind treatment. And this is a powerful tool and a practical tool that helps shift our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. Today, I'll be reading from August 23rd, 2014. Spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. I am the I am. I am one with the an all-knowing, everywhere present, eternal power for good that operates in, as, and through all creation. I am a wide open channel for this good to express in my life. I release old beliefs and limitation, regret, guilt, and woulda, coulda, shoulda. I face forward, embrace the future fearlessly, and co-create thought by thought, moment by moment, a life of freedom and transformative self-expression. I am free and move forward with ease, knowing that with each thought, I consciously transform my life. I enter into a larger vision of myself. I am no longer held prisoner by my past or my beliefs about my past, nor am I constrained in any way by anxiety or apprehension regarding the future. I release all expectations regarding either the past or the future and dwell instead in the abundant expectancy of the eternal now. Embracing the truth of love, I release these words to law, knowing that good is unfolding effortlessly and spontaneously in my life now, moment by moment by moment. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by licensed practitioner Susan Moeller from Palm Desert, California. And so let's together review our purpose, vision, and mission statements as we do each week as well. We have a grand purpose, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. And we do this by means of our vision, which is creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, we teach a philosophy called the Science of Mind, where we honor all faith, all traditions, and all paths. Everyone is both valued and welcome here. So as I mentioned, we teach a philosophy called the Science of Mind. And it's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. And we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, such as our opening spiritual mind treatment. And we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes was asked to provide a concise definition of the Science of Mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So if you have any questions or comments, you can post them online wherever you are watching the replay, chat with me in person, or send me a direct email, and I'll be sure to respond. So what makes humans behave the way we do? Is it our genes that decide if we become a doctor, lawyer, or movie star? Are we predestined to a particular life, as some believe, or do we determine our destiny as others believe? This week, we explore the wonder of nature, and we look at the nature of humankind. Humans are fascinating creatures, intellectual, social, creative, capable, yet also unconscious, destructive, biased, and selfish. Do our genetics determine our destiny? Or do we have a choice in how we turn out? This week, we explore what makes us tick and how to make the most of the gift of the human experience. In the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Ernest Holmes writes, "There is that within every individual which partakes of the nature of the universal wholeness, and insofar as it operates, is God." This is the meaning of the word Emmanuel, the meaning of the word Christ. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. And since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. The phrase human nature refers to the fundamental dispositions and psychological characteristics shared by humankind, including ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. The term is also used to denote the essence of humankind, or what it means to be human. This usage has proven to be controversial, in that there is dispute as to whether or not such an essence actually exists. We believe and teach there is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. Thus, we are also divine. This is an inherent quality in all of us, but is not always acknowledged, felt, or consciously realized. And we don't experience the demonstrations we seek. As humans, we must consciously engage in a spiritual practice of knowledge and truth seeking, and consciously practice it in our lives. A demonstration will occur regardless, but it may not be what we want. So, what is it that you want to demonstrate? Let me share with you this story. Reflecting back on the global pandemic, it was interesting to see how different countries and even different states reacted to the news and information and informed their citizens. In Norway, there's a strong belief that the community needs to support all people, and that the weakest among us should be considered in decision-making. That was certainly true with the pandemic. While many countries debated shutdowns and masks, the Norwegian people, led by a unified government, came together as a whole and followed the health advice given. As a result, less than 800 people in Norway died from corona-related illnesses during the entire pandemic. And although the medical resources were available, very few were hospitalized or needed care, even during the lockdowns. I can say I was conscious that doing my part was for the good of all, even at the expense of my own personal freedoms. In those places where businesses were operating as usual, the results were catastrophic. Our larger neighbor to the east, Sweden, Norway says, had almost 14,500 deaths. For those of us who've survived, let us ask ourselves, what is my impact on this planet and the people around me? Am I willing to be uncomfortable for some time so that others may be more comfortable or even just survive? I pose these questions for us as divine beings having a human experience so we may be conscious of our choices and the impact they have. No actions are too small. We can truly affect many others in a positive way, so play big. We can be inspired by these simple yet powerful acts of compassion and kindness, remembering that we too can help others. It only requires the willingness to observe what is happening to those around you and the desire to help. Considering taking time to lend a listening ear, open a door, offering to help a stranger carry a package, or do something on a larger scale. As with all things divine, the size of the gift does not matter. A simple act of kindness, compassion, joy, or love raises the vibration of our planet while touching the lives of others. Thomas Troward said this: the scientific method of inquiry therefore brings us to the conclusion that the required conditions for translating the racial or generic operation of the spirit is a new way of thinking. So behaviors refers to the way a person acts or reacts to other persons, situations, and their surroundings in general. Behavior is how a person expresses themselves. It's most commonly believed that the behavioral complexity of an organism is correlated to the complexity of its nervous system. Generally, organisms with more complex nervous systems have a greater capacity to learn more complex and more responses, and thus adjust their behavior to suit their environment. Humans have complex nervous systems and should therefore have a greater capacity to learn new responses and adjust behavior. Behavior is the computed response of the system or organism to various stimuli or inputs, whether internal or external, conscious or subconscious, overt or covert, and voluntary or involuntary. That is to say, we behave differently based on the available criteria. If something is potentially harmful, the first priority is to protect ourselves. But if we believe we are safe, we are open to exploring new things. The same holds true as we look at beliefs about ourselves and others. When an individual's basic needs are met, they are open to exploring new possibilities. Troward said this: the principle of life must be prolific, that is, tending to multiplicity, and therefore the original thought image must be fundamental to whole races and not exclusive to particular individuals. So affirmations are powerful. Think of something you'd like to manifest in your life. Is it a new job or new home, a healthy body, a loving relationship, or whatever? And write down 3 to 5 affirmations as if you are already having the experience. Make it in the now moment and have the affirmations handy and available, so you can start your day with them, reading them throughout the day and making your declaration at the end of the day before you go to bed. Notice what happens in your experience after a few days, few weeks, or months with this practice. I'm sure you'll find a difference. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "Life waits upon man's discovery of natural laws, his discovery of himself, and his discovery of his relationship to the greater whole." So let's look at the nature of humans from the perspective of biology and genetics. Different members of the same species have almost identical DNA. For example, the DNA in your genes is about 99.9% the same as the DNA of every other human being. These common genetic structures mean members of the same species are born with a variety of behaviors that come naturally to them, defining the characteristics of the species. These abilities and characteristics are known as instincts, which are complex, inborn patterns of behaviors that help ensure survival and reproduction. Different animals have different instincts. For example, birds build nests, and dogs are naturally loyal to their human caretakers, and humans instinctively learn to communicate and understand language. But the strength of different traits and behaviors varies within the species. Rabbits are naturally fearful, but some rabbits are more fearful than others. Some dogs are more loyal than others, and some humans learn to speak and write better than others. These variances are determined, in part, by the small differences in genes. Though we share 99.9% of our genetics with the rest of the species, we can see vast differences among people with respect to sex, ethnicity, appearance, ability, etc. Michael Beckwith wrote this: "As the alchemist of your own life, find a fill in the blank bit of the frequency you want to experience and place your attention there. As it becomes your perception, live from there." Personality refers to an amalgamation of qualities and characteristics that define a person. Scientists believe that personality is not determined by a single gene, but assumed to be determined by the actions of many genes working together. There is no IQ gene that determines intelligence, and there's no good marriage partner gene that makes a person a particularly good spouse. Even working together, genes are not so powerful that they can create or control our personality. Some genes increase certain characteristics, while others work to decrease the same characteristics. The complex relationship among the various genes, as well as a variety of environmental factors, produces the final outcome that creates personality. Just because one possesses a given pattern of genes doesn't necessarily mean that a particular trait will develop. Some traits may only occur in particular environments. We see children of artists and athletes that do not demonstrate or show interest in following after their parents. For example, my mother comes from a family of everyone that was musically inclined, yet my mother was not. As religious science, or as religious scientists, we believe that there is one power and one presence. Therefore, the individual personality is determined by what we believe about ourselves. And we can know what we believe about ourselves based on our vibrational energy and who we attract into our experience. Like attracts like, meaning two entities vibrating at the same frequency are pulled toward each other. Gandhi said this: "You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty." So although my mother didn't appear to possess the musical inclination, my brother and I both learned to play musical instruments in school, and we were quite good at it. So that gene is still there, sometimes a little bit repressed. So in conclusion, consider reading Ernest Holmes' Declaration of Principles, also known as What We Believe, from the first issue of Science of Mind magazine, which was published in 1927. What We Believe has been included in every issue of the magazine for the past 88 years. And it's also noted on our website. The invitation is to read the Declaration of Principles out loud, listening to each sentence and noticing what resonates as true for you. What do you believe to be true? Read it daily and notice how your body responds when you read the statements. If you encounter a situation where you feel sad, hurt, angry, or disconnected, read the statements out loud and pay attention to any energetic changes in your body or how you feel. And I'll leave you with these words from the Dalai Lama. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. So that now brings us to our affirmation for the week. I am the divine being. My true nature is divine. And so now is our time for mindfully giving back where you are spiritually fed. Donations are gratefully received through PayPal on our website, www.cslpv.org. When you arrive on the landing page, you'll see a donate button, and that will take you directly to your PayPal account, where you can make your donation in whichever way you choose. However, if you still prefer to write a paper check, you can do so and address it to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1. And now, if you'd like to join me in our offertory affirmations. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. If you would like to have a one-on-one connection for spiritual mind treatment to assist you with change or your emotions or whatever you are experiencing or would like to experience in life, please connect with me. And if you would like to become a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta or be on our board of trustees, please contact us so that we can send you the current forms. And I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. If you're interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we'll be once again offering the course, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, online. And this will be held in either late September or early October. The details will be posted both on Facebook and our website. If there's any other courses or classes, workshops, book studies that you would be interested in, please let me know as well so we can work out a plan for that. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration, and also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. Namaste.